Hi students, Sairam. How are you all doing? Hope you are all well. In the previous session, I had given you a homework, that is to find out the location of the circles marked B, C and D and E. A was already done for you, so you have to do B, C, D and E, and I had explained to you how you have to do. So here was the homework, and I also told you it is there exactly in your textbook, and you follow that and do this. Hope you have done it. File the completed work in a file carefully. Do it neatly. Every work that you do it neatly. Don't forget to mention the date and the topic, video number, etc. So file it. You will have to submit it later. Of course, we will be telling you when you have to do that. So, but now preserve it. Now let us, today we will learn about the longitude time. You learned about the longitude yesterday in the last video, previous session. So today we are going to learn in this session about the longitude and time. The best means of measuring time is by the movement of the earth. The moon and the planets. The sun regularly rises and sets every day. And naturally, it is the best timekeeper throughout the world. Sun is the best timekeeper. And so, before the railways were started, each place had its own time. Okay, the length of the shadow cast by the object indicated the time. The shadow was shortest at noon and longest at sunrise and sunset. At each place, whenever the sun was directly overhead, it was considered to be noon. That we know, we have noticed that, isn't it so? So earlier people were telling the time just by looking at the place of the sun, where the sun is. Accordingly, they were just telling the time. And so this is called the solar time or local time, we can call it. And it was defined by the position of the sun, where the sun is, whether it is overhead or slanting. The solar day, what is solar day? Was the time it took for the sun to return to the same point in the sky. How much of time it took to return to the same point where it was earlier. So the same point, it becomes 24 hours again. So that becomes a solar day. Okay, that much is clear now. What is a solar time and what is a solar day? As the earth rotates, the sun shines directly over each meridian once every day. So when the prime meridian of Greenwich, which we spoke about in the previous session, so the prime meridian, which is of 0 degree, has the sun directly overhead. Every place along this meridian has noon or midday. Okay. Now, opposite to that meridian will be, the other side of the world will be midnight. So you can see from west to east the earth rotates. As the earth rotates from west to east, the places which are to the east of Greenwich are ahead of Greenwich time. Ahead means before. Ahead of Greenwich time, and those to the west are behind, back. So the sun rises in Delhi before it does in London. So Delhi is in the eastern part of Greenwich, and London is in the western part of Delhi. So first the sun rises in Delhi before it does in London. It is night in London when it is sunrise in Delhi. Similarly, when the sun rises in London, it is still night in New York, which lies to the west of London. So it depends whether the place is in the east or west. So you can now follow the figure given in your textbook, that is geography book, page 14. You can just follow that. The rate of difference can be calculated as follows. So how we calculate this difference of the timings, okay? The earth rotates 360 degree in about 24 hours. We learned that rotation of the earth, it takes 1 day. 1 day is that of 24 hours. And how many degrees? 360 degrees, which means how many degrees we altogether we have from the 0 meridian, 180 degree east and 180 degree west. Both together we have 360 degrees. So 15 degree an hour or 1 degree in 4 minutes. So when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, the time at 15 degree east of Greenwich will be 15 into 4. That becomes 60 minutes. That is 1 hour ahead of Greenwich time, which means 1 p.m. But at 15 degree west of Greenwich, the time will be behind Greenwich time by 1 hour. That is, it will be 11 a.m. Similarly, at 180 degree, it will be midnight when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, which I already told you. 180 degree in 0 degree when it is 12 noon, in 0 degree Greenwich the meridian, if it is 12 noon, just opposite the other end of the 180 degree west or east, whatever, it will be midnight. Is that clear? So once again I'll repeat this, just follow this chart. Time taken by the earth to rotate once around its own axis is 1 day. How long it will take to rotate the earth and how many degrees? 360 degrees. Okay, 1 day. 1 day means 24 hours. So 24 hours into 60 minutes equal to how many minutes? It is 1440 minutes. Now, one rotation of the earth is of 360 degree longitude. Therefore, time taken to turn a distance of 1 degree will be, again we have to divide that. That is 1440 minutes we divide by 360 degrees. So we get 4 minutes. So for 1 degree, therefore time taken to turn 15 degree of longitudinal distance will be, again we multiply into 4 minutes, then we will get 60 minutes. So 1 hour. So for 15 degree we have 1 hour. So 15 degree longitudinal distance will be covered by the earth rotation within 1 hour. So altogether within 24 hours it will cover 360 degree longitudes. This much is clear to you, children? So which means, again I am repeating, 12 noon at Greenwich, the time at 15 degree east of Greenwich will be 1 hour ahead of Greenwich, which means 1 p.m. and but 15 degree west of Greenwich will be, again that will be 1 hour behind Greenwich time, so that will be 11 a.m. So you have to see whether the place is in the east or in the west. So at 180 degree it will be midnight when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, which is the 0 degree longitude. In 180 degree it will be midnight. This much. I hope it is clear to you, children. So now let us just see the time zones of the world. What are the time zones? You have different time zones of the world. In 1878, Sir Sanford Fleming developed the system of worldwide time zones that we still use today. He proposed that the world be divided into 24 time zones. Okay, we have 24 hours a day. So 24 time zones, each separated by 15 degree of longitude. He chose this figure because the earth completes a rotation every 24 hours. So, in 1 hour, how many degrees the earth will complete? And there are 360 degrees of longitude altogether. So, the earth rotates through, again, 360 degree divided by 24 of a circle. It is 15 degree every hour. The earth completes its rotation in 1 hour. How many degrees? 15 degrees longitude. Okay, so we can say that the earth has been divided into 24 time zones of 1 hour each. So each zone covers 15 degree of longitude. Each zone means one zone covers, one zone is equal to 15 degree. Okay, so each zone covers 15 degree of longitude. Okay, now let us learn about the standard time. What is that? We have Indian standard time, international standard time, etc. So what is a standard time? So the local time of a place depends on the meridian of longitude that passes through it. So now we are calculating, not just looking at the sun, but we are just calculating. Of course, the sun's place also is very important, but now we are accurately calculating the time. Local time of a place depends on the meridian, the longitude that places pass through it. There are several longitudes passing through India. We'll see that. India. So many longitudes, several longitudes are passing through India. There would be great confusion if every place in the country followed its local time, looking at the longitude, and each place will follow their own timing. Total confusion it will be. So, it would not be possible to prepare a common railway or airline timetable for the country, because all these railways and airlines passing through many different longitudes, isn't it so? So it is not only going to from this local area, it goes from one end to the other end of the India, of the country. So if we follow different timings, it will be a great confusion. So to avoid this confusion, most countries follow a standard time. Now the standard time for each country is usually taken as the time of the central meridian of that country. What is the central time of the central meridian of that country? Now which is the central meridian given here? We have the central meridian given, that is 82 degree 30 east. That is the central meridian given here, which is passing through Mirzapur near Allahabad. It's just crossing, you can see in the center 82 degree 30. You can also say 82.5 degree east. For example, now there will be a difference about 1 hour and 45 minutes in the local times of Dwarka in Gujarat and Dibrugarh in Assam. Where are these places? Assam is in the east and Dwarka is in the west. So, therefore, it is necessary to adopt the local time of some central meridian. So, one particular central meridian we take and we follow that timing of a country as the standard time for the country. So, in India, the longitude of 82.5 degree east, which means I have shown you here 82 degree 30 east, is treated as the standard meridian. The local time at this meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. So, this standard meridian shows you the local time. So, it is known as the Indian Standard Time, or we can also say as IST in short, Indian Standard Time. So, you have one example here, children, in your textbook. Kabir lives in a small town near Bhopal. He tells his friend Alok that they will not be able to sleep tonight. A day and night cricket match between India and England had started at 2 p.m. in London. Remember that. This means that the match would begin at 7:30 p.m. in India. and finish well into the night. Do you know what is the time difference between India and England? India, located east of Greenwich at 82 degree 30 east, is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of GMT. Okay, so it will be 7:30 p.m. in India when it is 2 p.m. noon in London. Is that clear? So when it is 12 noon in London, what will be 7:30 p.m. in India? Some countries have great longitudinal extent, and so they have adopted more than one standard time. For example, Russia. There are as many as 11 standard times in Russia. So again we can say the earth has been divided into 24 hours, which I had already spoken to you. 24 time zones of 1 hour each. Each zone covers 15 degree of longitude. Now we just read about GMT. What is it? What is GMT? What's the meaning of GMT? The standard time of a country can be used to calculate how far it is ahead or behind of Greenwich. We are taking that Greenwich meridian, isn't it so? So that is called Greenwich Mean Time. The short form is GMT. What is it? The standard time of a country which is used to calculate how far it is ahead or behind Greenwich Mean Time. So Greenwich Mean Time is called as GMT. Greenwich Mean Time is the local time at Greenwich. Okay. Thus, it can be used for the purpose of calculating time globally all over the world. So GMT is known now as the Universal Time Coordinated. GMT is now known as the universal because that is the time the whole world is following. So GMT is now known as the Universal Time Coordinated. The short form is UTC. So since India is to the east of Greenwich, IST, Indian Standard Time, is 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. What is GMT? Greenwich Mean Time. So India is, note that India is IST, Indian Standard Time, is 5.5 hours ahead of GMT. Why? Because India is to the east of Greenwich. We are before them, 5 hours ahead. Countries like Canada, USA and Russia with a vast longitudinal extent have more than one standard time. So Russia has, we already spoke about that, 11 time zones, we said, more than any other country because it's a huge country. Okay, now let us, I hope you have understood this, whatever I had spoken to you. We spoke to you about longitude and time. We spoke about the zero meridian. We count that when the sun is just on top ahead, overhead of the zero meridian, it is 12 o'clock noon, and just opposite to zero meridian we have the 180 degree longitude, which will be the midnight. And we also spoke about the international IST, Indian Standard Time. We spoke about GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, we also spoke about Universal Time Coordinator, which is the same, which is the GMT, which is known as the Universal Time Coordinator. We also spoke about the with the standard meridian of India, which is passing through Allahabad. Okay, the standard meridian of India, which degree is that? 82.5 degree east, or we can also say 82 degree 30 east. And we also learned how to calculate time looking at this starting from zero meridian, looking at this longitude, whether it is in the east or it is in the, whether the place is in the east or the place is in the west. You have to calculate that accordingly. So children, you have a small homework here. Hema lives in Kolkata. Kolkata is in India. Roughly it is in 90° east. Okay. She wants to view a football match played in London. Where is London? That is in England, 0° longitude. And Kolkata is in 90° east. So you have to now calculate. The match is scheduled to be telecast on TV from 3 p.m. GMT. What is GMT? Greenwich Mean Time. GMT. When should she switch on her TV? This is your question. Think quietly. Think. You will get the answer. Very easy. Just follow the instructions that is followed, that is given to you. If you couldn't get this, you just go back to the video again. Just listen peacefully. Then you will get it. Read again and again. Calmly, you will get the answer. Do it in your assignment sheet. File it again as I have told you. All the best, children. God bless you.